Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. Don't get distracted from your path. Don't get distracted from your path. I mean, I'm gonna tell you what, and I continuously do podcasts with this theme because that's the biggest thing. When we're born into this world, we're not just here to have fun. It's not an accident. Regardless of your path, you're here to do something. You have gifts within you. You have talents. You have something that you want to do. Indeed, you will have things that will find its way to you. That's how deep it is. Once you get on your path, don't get distracted. Now, I've said several times, and I will keep saying several times, the path to success, regardless of what you want to do, is never easy. I wish it was easy. I wish it was a straight line. No, it's more like a squiggly line. You know, you driving along that highway on the way to success, all of a sudden you got a major detour. You know, you go through that detour. Hey, you know what? The tires go out on your car, the engine go out. You might just sit a while at a certain place. You get back on that highway about to cross a bridge, the bridge fell over. No, it's that deep. Seriously, there's always going to be something. But the thing that you got to do is no matter what, you got to stay on that path, no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening. You got to think, and this is even in your personal lives. It could be stuff, drama with your family. It could, sadly, death in your family. It could be things in your relationship, your job, just everything. You know, and without even any outside forces, you can simply get depressed because, hey, it wasn't a straight line. Sometimes you're going to be like, is this worth doing? You know, is this worth it? Am I really doing the things that I need to be doing? You know, maybe I need to do something else. That in itself is a distraction. You can't allow that to happen. You know, you can't get distracted. Once you decide what you want to do, you got to keep going. Now, yes, you're going to get some distractions. You're going to get some obstacles and stuff. But let's look at it another way. What if all those obstacles are helping you? What if? Seriously. I mean, you know, to get to where I am now, trust me, I had an interesting journey. But ironically, some of what I thought were distractions, obstacles, stuff that just totally took me off the path, they were actually helpful. And every single time I would take something from that experience, the learning experience, and apply it to what I'm doing now. So it's actually, I turned it around. But unfortunately, many of us don't do that. You know, those things happen and we just, for lack of a better term, I would say we accept it. We accept it. But we can't do that. You know, or we allow something small. I've talked about that recently, like allowing like a naysayer or some small thing to distract you. You can't. You got to think. See, here's the thing. That path is who you are. Whatever you're doing it because you feel that deep in your spirit. Not even in your body, not even like some logical thing. It's like you got to do this no matter what. I've known people, especially artists of some type, and when I say art, you know, they could be a literal artist or they could be a singer. They could be a writer, poets. I know of a poet who had a very well-paying job, but he was just so called to that path that he went from a person who had his own home and everything to sleeping on a couch. But it actually worked for him, where he was able to rise back up. But that's how badly he wanted it. And that's how you have to be. That's really how you have to be. You got to want something so bad, nothing can stop you. Nothing. Even when something comes against you, you'll learn from it and keep going. That's how badly you have to want it. And you can't let anybody take you off of that path because it's your path. That's the thing with it. It's your path. You know, it's not my path. Somebody else, they could be very helpful, but it's your path. You know, when people will come to me privately or sometimes publicly and they'll say, well, what should I do? I was like, well, what do you want to do? You know? And the only time I'll say, and I'll say it, especially if I don't know anything about that particular path. Now, if it's something like being a writer or something like that. Oh, I'm very helpful to them, but I never dissuade them. I tell men and women, what is it that you want to do? Where do you want to go? You know where you know where you want to go. You know what you want to do. I don't. And you got to stick with it. That's within your spirit. That's not my path. Part of my path is to encourage people to get there, but ultimately people have to encourage themselves, And yeah, there's going to be stuff, you might look at it and say, well, I got to work because this path doesn't make that much money. No, at least not at first. I'll use myself for an example. When I first started wanting to write, some men would say, writers don't make that much. Writers don't make that much. But all they saw was just one part of it. They didn't see all the secondary benefits or the tertiary benefits of writing. I'm speaking to you now because I was writing, And I'll share that story real quick. For a long time, I would write blogs until one time I just didn't feel like writing. As much as I love writing, sometimes it's kind of like butter almond ice cream. I could eat it every day, but after a while, I'm like, nah. And so it was just one time I didn't feel like writing. I said, okay, show got to go on. Let me do a video. Let me do a podcast. So even that, and it's still connected to writing. And really, even for a lot of the stuff I do, I have to write out notes. So it's still there. So don't get caught up into like how much you make or anything like that. You're not doing it for money. You're doing it because it's in your spirit. The money will come. The money will come one way or the other. Even if you have to work another job to keep money flowing, it'll still come because you'll have so much love for your path that you'll be able to do whatever you got to do to keep going on it. That's how deep it is. But don't get distracted on your path. Don't let anybody take you off of your path. Don't focus too much on stuff that doesn't have anything to do with your path. You want to keep going. This is very important for you. This is your life. This is your life. And you want to stick to it as best as possible. Always understand that. That's what you want to do. All right? So that's all I have for today. As always, keep rising. Peace and blessings.